Give people a second to get in here. All right, make sure audio's good. All right. We are live here. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Riley here with the T-Storm Chasers. We are here for a weather briefing. There's some things we got to get to. Let's jump right in. So as you look at the radar here, we do have some thunderstorms going east of Sioux Falls here. Let's zoom in a little bit there near Adrian, Sibley, Hartley areas there. Some current ongoing thunderstorms, non-severe. But did want to mention that. You're probably looking outside, seeing those thunderheads to your east. That is where we have some general thunderstorms. Those are not expected to be severe. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect in Nebraska. That is in effect here. Pull this up. But there is that severe thunderstorm watch in Nebraska. And that is in effect until... says, let's see here, until 11 p.m. Central Time for the counties there in Nebraska. And then we do have a tornado warning, which is in Nebraska, just north of Sidney, Nebraska there, right over Gurley. If you have any people near Sidney, Gurley areas in Nebraska and the western panhandle of Nebraska, just let them know there's a tornado warning for that area. And again, that is the western panhandle of Nebraska. We'll get back to that in just a second. I do want to mention there is a brand new severe thunderstorm watch just off the wire here. This is for portions of western South Dakota and also north central South Dakota. We do have that severe thunderstorm watch. Let me get to that here and get that information out here. That is in effect here. Look here. So the severe thunderstorm watch does include Aberdeen, Mulbridge, Faith areas in effect until 10 p.m. Central Time. And that, again, is for portions of north central South Dakota and a little bit of western South Dakota as well. We do have some thunderstorms that are already ongoing and developing. Let me zoom in here. Near the Rapid City area, there's a couple of thunderstorms. One of them is pretty intense here, south of New Underwood there. Right there, that is a pretty nasty thunderstorm. Not severe yet, but it is a strong thunderstorm. Moving up here to the north, just west of Faith, as you can see there, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here until 4:30 Mountain Time. That is 3:30 Mountain Time, 4:30 Central. So another half hour on this. And this has hail size of 1.25 inches, as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds. Now, with this storm, anytime you get that V shape on the radar there, like that, that is your hail core. That definitely is a signal of some hail within that storm. Anytime you get that V shape on the radar picture. Also, do want to mention there is a little bit of a hook feature now developing on this storm. Again, this is just west of Faith, and this is heading towards the Faith area. So if you have any folks in the Faith area, be sure to let them know that there is a very strong thunderstorm, a severe thunderstorm heading towards Faith right now. And again, where you have kind of a hook feature there, that usually on radar indicates there's some rotation within that storm. So we'll just keep an eye on it here. And also the velocity is starting to show a little bit of a couplet there on radar. We'll just keep watching it. We're going to be here all afternoon for you, all afternoon and all evening, to keep you guys safe with the latest. And moving up to the north near McLaughlin, there is another severe thunderstorm warning. Let me pop up this radar here. And this is a severe thunderstorm warning Again, if you're in McLaughlin, if you're anywhere in those areas, please be taking cover. Please be in your safe spot. There's a severe thunderstorm warning. Moving east at about 15 miles per hour, in effect here until 4:45 p.m. Central Time, so another 40 minutes or so on this. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds associated with that storm. And again, severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 10 p.m. for these areas shaded in yellow here. That is your severe thunderstorm watch. Also, I do want to briefly mention we do have a bunch of thunderstorm activity also up in North Dakota. One of them is severe at this time, just west of Jamestown, right over Medina right now. Over there in North Dakota, that is outside of our coverage area, but did want to mention that we do have that severe thunderstorm warning. Now, I do want to go back to this tornado warning. This is in effect again until 4:30 p.m. Central Time, so another 25 minutes on this one. Again, this is western panhandle of Nebraska. For those of you wondering if this is near the Sioux Falls area, it is not. This is in the western panhandle of Nebraska. Radar indicated rotation moving east-southeast at about 20 miles per hour. Also, we do have some very large hail. As you can see, the areas, anytime you get that purple and black shaded areas there, that is where we do have that intense hail and very heavy rain as well. Now, let me look at the velocity here. Not seeing a whole lot. It's pretty broad. We're not seeing a very tight rotation, but we'll keep an eye on it. Also, I do want to mention if this thing is on the ground, it's likely to be rain wrapped. We're not seeing that typical hook feature that you always see on the radar. So very likely if that produces a tornado, most likely would be rain wrapped based on what we're seeing on the radar picture. So again, there's another severe thunderstorm warning here just southeast of the Chadron area here, southeast of Hay Springs. This is for hail as well, and 60-mile-an-hour winds, 1.25 inch hail, and then 60-mile-an-hour winds there, moving east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. And again, this area also under a severe thunderstorm watch. Now, this is not the main event. Do want to mention that this is just the beginning of today's event. We're looking at a possible severe weather outbreak, but we're not looking at anything too bad. We do have an enhanced risk that we're going to show you here in just a second. That is across the Nebraska area. Let me pull that up here. And there it is. So there is your greatest risk zone, northern Kansas, and then into a good portion of Nebraska. Central Nebraska in particular, O'Neill down to North Platte over the Grand Island. That is your bullseye here for the rest of today and into tonight. That is where we have the greatest risk of severe weather. Now, up in our neck of the woods, we just have a slight risk, level 2 out of 5. That is for large hail, strong winds, and an isolated tornado. Also, some localized flooding possible. And that does include the Sioux Falls area. It includes a good portion of the area, northwest Iowa, western Minnesota, into eastern North Dakota, and then central and eastern South Dakota areas. And that is Pierre, Aberdeen, Brookings, Mulbridge, Winter, Huron, all these areas in eastern South Dakota in that slight risk zone. So that is why we're keeping a very close eye on things. And also down near the Wagner-Yankton area, close enough to that enhanced risk where just got to be paying attention, be a little bit extra weather aware this evening. Let me go ahead and pull up the tornado risk. So this goes all the way from the Canada border down through western Minnesota, eastern North Dakota, into eastern South Dakota, northwest Iowa, and then into Nebraska. Now that 5% zone, that is your highest tornado probability over North Platte and McCook areas in Nebraska, also into a little bit of Kansas. That is your highest tornado risk. That is 5%. Now, the other areas here shaded in green, that is your 2%, and does include the Sioux Falls area, as well as Aberdeen, Pierre, Marshall, Winter areas, all in this 2% zone, as you can see there. So that is where we're going to be keeping a very close eye on things for the rest of this afternoon into the evening hours. Now, we do have other risks to talk about. We do have the hail risk, which is right here. Now, I do want to mention there is a hatched zone that I need to talk about, and right here. Winter, Mitchell, Huron, Redfield, Watertown, down into Nebraska. This is what they do, the Storm Prediction Center down in Norman. When they issue these risk zones, what they do is they put a hatched zone for significant hail probabilities. And that is what they've done here, this outline in black. That is where you have your significant hail risk associated, where we can see the worst of the hail. Now, we do have, going back to the hail risk, we do have that 30% zone, again, in central Nebraska. That is the bullseye for the risk today. The 15% is in eastern and central South Dakota, and they're in that yellow shaded area. Now, we do have a wind risk as well, and that is pretty much the same zone. Central Nebraska is the bullseye with that 30% as well, and then also your 15% hail risk, which is in eastern South Dakota. They're shaded in yellow. That is your hail risk and your wind risk. And again, going back to the category, there is your slight risk in yellow. That is our area of most concern, as well as down in Nebraska, where we have that level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk. Now, let me go ahead and show you guys a different picture here. We're going to bring up a model run here. This is real quick. We're just going to show you guys this. This is a model run to depict what is going to be happening here over the next few hours. Now, let's take this out here. Let's run this out for you. This is the current picture. We run this out here.
The Weather Center, Maine.
That's what happens when you're live. So activity is supposed to start, as you can see, right in here. That would be basically about an hour from now. We start to see that activity start to form there. Right there, kind of near Mitchell, Huron area, or just west, kind of near maybe Weston Springs area. Shows a cell developing. Also shows another one up near Millbank. Possible other cell developing. And then as you see this over the next hour, it's going to develop into probably 1 or 2 supercells.
Chaser 1 to Weather Center, Maine.
1 or 2 supercells kind of over Huron and over towards Chamberlain. And then what it's going to do here, according to this model run, it's going to basically form a QLCS line and kind of move east towards the Sioux Falls area by tonight. Whether it gets to Sioux Falls without being severe, that is a different picture. That is yet to be told on that, but it does show this activity eventually making its way towards Sioux Falls. But whether or not it'll be very severe by the time it gets to Sioux Falls, that is yet to be determined. But according to this latest HRR model run, does show this activity. Greatest threat area is going to be kind of near the Mitchell area. So if you got any folks near the Mitchell area, that is where you need to be really paying attention here. Also, if you got folks down in Nebraska, central Nebraska, that is the worst of this as well. So really there's 2 zones that we're really going to be keeping a very close eye on. Again, the central Nebraska area, and then also east central South Dakota, kind of near Huron and Mitchell. Could be another zone up in western Minnesota too. We'll keep an eye on that as well. But that is your model run there. So that is the latest here. Let me see what AJ has to say. They are out actually chasing this afternoon. They are on their way towards the Mitchell area. That is where they're going to set up shop and get ready to chase. So let me go back here. They are out in the field currently. They are going to be chasing. And let me go ahead and do that here. We're live with the briefing. Go ahead.
Hey, I see there's the latest mesoscale discussion of a severe thunderstorm
Okay, so I can pull that up here real quick. So what the National Weather Service does, they put out these MDs, mesoscale discussions, before they issue a watch. So what this says, let me show you guys this here. And what they're showing here is increasing severe weather risk over the next couple hours will likely require a watch. 60% chance of a watch, so that's a pretty good bet that they will be issuing a watch across central, eastern South Dakota into a little bit of western Minnesota. Now, what it says here, storm development expected to happen in the next 1 to 2 hours, again, across this area that we mentioned earlier. And I can actually pull up the satellite too. They are mentioning this based on the satellite here. Let me go ahead and pull that up here, and I can do that here for you. So there's your satellite, and that shows right there clearing across our area here. There is clearing, but we are starting to maybe see a little bit of development. We are seeing development out west, west of the main area. That is not expected to be the main event. What we're paying attention to and what our field that's out chasing in the field, that is what they're looking at. They're looking at possible development here near the Huron-Mitchell area within the next 1 to 2 hours, just that east central South Dakota area. Now, going back to this, it does say here, storm development again within the next 1 to 2 hours. There's going to be shear sufficient for rotating storms, very large hail, local damaging winds, and again with that isolated tornado threat as well. So a new weather watch will be needed in the next hour or two if that plays out. So that is the latest here from the T-Storm Chasers. Again, as the condition, well, actually, you know what? We might have to stay on here now. We do have a brand new tornado warning that I just saw pop up here. This is out west. So just as we were going to jump off, we do have a brand new tornado warning that is in western South Dakota. And it was that storm that we were looking at earlier near the Faith area. That was something that I was a little bit concerned about looking at that hook echo on the radar, which is what we were mentioning a little bit earlier. So you have to get to this now. So we do have a brand new tornado warning fresh off the box here. Also do want to mention the Rapid City area. There's also another... There is a special weather statement on this too. There is a storm that has developed right over the Rapid City area, moving east towards Box Elder here, moving east at about 30. Be prepared for some 50-mile-an-hour winds and some hail, just under an inch. But right here, this is your main area here now. If you were in Faith, you are now under a tornado warning. If you're in Faith, South Dakota, please be taking cover. Again, if you are in Faith, South Dakota, please be taking cover. You are now under a tornado warning. This is in effect until 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Central Time. Moving southeast at about 25 to 30. Let's see here. Yeah, we were just about to jump off, and then there was a brand new tornado warning that was issued right over Faith, South Dakota. And as you can see here, for one, there is very large hail associated with this storm. Up close to 2 inches in diameter, as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds. And then we also do have that inflow notch or hook, if you will, kind of right in there, where you got the inflow coming in. that is headed towards the Faith area. Again, if you got any folks in and around Faith, be sure to let them know that we do have a new tornado warning that is in effect, and this is in effect for another 40 minutes. Again, moving southeast at 25 to 30, so it is moving at about a normal clip. Not moving super fast, not moving slow either, just kind of chugging along. So if really the greatest area of concern right now is Faith, as well as areas south and west of Faith, is where this is going to be headed towards. Now, this is a radar indicated tornado at this point. This is not a confirmed tornado at this point, which is good news. Hopefully that stays. But that is, let me pull up the velocity here. Let's see if we can, oh, and now it just went to confirmed. Okay, never mind that. This is now a confirmed tornado. And again, things happen fast, and that is exactly what has happened. This tornado is now a confirmed tornado. AJ, this tornado up by Faith is now a confirmed tornado. Let me turn off this. So we do now have a confirmed tornado. Now we do have some help here in the studio this afternoon and evening to help us out here with some coverage, kind of behind the scenes work. So if you want to go ahead and get that posted for the confirmed tornado in your Faith, if you want to just post that onto social media for everyone. So let's look at the velocity here, see if we can see anything. And yes, there is a pretty good velocity couplet here on the radar. Right in there. That is where you got your velocity. Pretty strong rotation signature there. Again, this is happening very fast. This is again, if you got folks in Faith, be sure to let them know there is a confirmed tornado. This is just fresh off the wire here. And right there, anytime you get those brighter greens, brighter reds meeting together like that in a small confined area, that is where you got your. That's where the tornado is at. It is just south of Highway 212 there.
Where do you like me to pull that from, Riley?
You can just pull it up from. You can just take a picture from WSV3. Make sure the warning box is on there, the tornado warning box. You can just post it. Do you know how to take a snapshot of it?
Yes, I'm gonna
Okay.
figure out how to change the warning color.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. Another look at the velocity. Again, this is just south of Highway 212 in western South Dakota. Again, this is west of Faith. See here. See if looking for any updates at this point. Let's see here. That's your tornado. It's right there. When you got the brighter greens and the bright reds, and right there, that is your area. That is your confirmed tornado. So let me go ahead now and update that here. Let's see here. Got to update that here. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to get this here. Okay. They've also updated the box as well. Let's see here. Again, this all happened pretty fast, so we're just taking a minute here to try to get things figured out. That. All right. So now we gotta update the bottom screen here for you guys. All right. So that is Perkins County in South Dakota, as well as. So that is the southern portion of Perkins County. And in effect here, let's see here, there's that. And again, this is in effect until 5 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. That Perkins and Meade County in South Dakota. Let's update that. There's that. All right. And again, confirmed tornado. All right, back to the radar picture. As you can see, we're still seeing that kind of hook feature just south of Highway 212 there. The area we're looking at is right in here. That is the area we are looking at for a tornado, which is, again, is a confirmed tornado. That purple box that we have on the screen, that is where we got the confirmed tornado. And again, that is west of Faith. If you are in Faith, they have updated the warning box. Faith is no longer in the box, so that is good news. However, Faith is still going to be impacted by the storm. The storm is still going to hit Faith, just not the worst part of this. Do want to mention as well, there is a tornado warning as well down in Nebraska, the western panhandle of Nebraska. Again, we'll go back to this briefly. If you are near Sidney and Gurley, Nebraska there, be in your safe spot. That is a radar indicated tornado moving southeast at about 20 miles per hour, as well as some big hail associated with that as well. So, got any folks down there in that area, be sure to let them know. Now, again, out here, this is the main situation. This is our area of greatest concern. Again, this developed very quickly. And again, this is a confirmed tornado. So, again, the good news with this is, too, there's no towns or cities impacted by this. This is in a pretty open area, pretty rural area, and that is good news. But I'm sure there's still folks that live here in this box. So we got to be taking this seriously. Also, do you want to mention we do have some cells now developing in that area that we were looking at before, kind of over near Woonsocket, Weston Springs area. Do have some cells. We're going to keep a very close eye on that because that is the area that we are most concerned about this afternoon, late this afternoon, and into the evening. But for right now, this is our concern. for another half hour. We do have a confirmed tornado that continues now. And there's nothing stopping this thing. This thing is in a very good environment, and unfortunately in a tornado conducive environment. And there's nothing stopping this. This thing is wound up. It is strong, very intense, and also got some hail with this storm as well. But that inflow notch is clear as day, right in there. That is your inflow notch into this storm, and that is where the tornado is. And it is moving in a southeasterly direction. It is moving southwest of Faith. So Faith will not be impacted by this, which is good. But areas southwest of Faith will be impacted by this. Also, this Highway 73 that heads south. If you are along that, if you're along that road there, that South Dakota 73, please be watching this very closely. And again, for those of you who wonder where this is at, again, this is out in western South Dakota. This is northeast of Rapid City. This is just southwest of the Faith area. Now, we do have another cell I do want to mention here down just southwest of the Wall area. And this is also showing a little bit of a hook feature on this, kind of right in here. A little bit of a hook feature. We will continue to keep an eye on that. And it's all by itself, so that is why we are a little more concerned about that. And again, right here, this is the main storm. Again, west and southwest of Faith here is where we have this, and we're just going to keep looking at this. Let me look at correlation coefficient here to see if maybe, yeah, I think that would be the tornado. It'd be right there. There's your CC. Now, because it's in a pretty rural area, it's not going to be picking up much debris. But what we can see is, I still got to say that thing is still got to be on the ground at this point, based on what we're seeing. And let me go back to the velocity. And yeah, still showing a little bit of velocity here as well. Again, southwest of Faith. That is the area we are looking at this point. And your velocity area is kind of over in this area, where you got the reds and greens going together. And that is where we have that tornado warning that continues. Now, I do want to mention this. We do have other things we need to get to. There is a new severe thunderstorm warning here that is in between Bison and Lemon, South Dakota. Right in here, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is just issued a few minutes ago. This is in effect until 5 p.m. Central Time. Moving east at about 25 to 30, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds with this. This is moving straight east. And it's, again, in a pretty rural area. There's not a lot of towns or communities in this area, which is good news. But just wanted to mention that. There's also another cell towards Timber Lake that we're going to keep an eye on as well. Now, there is also, I need to turn the watches back on. And I'm going to update this as well. Here. It hasn't popped up yet, but we do have a brand new severe thunderstorm watch that we will be showing you guys here. Let me update this here. Just trying to update this a little bit here. And there it is. So it finally, it did pop up here. So we do have that brand new severe thunderstorm watch. So a good majority of the state of South Dakota, as well as portions of western Minnesota, and they did go ahead, they did issue that severe thunderstorm watch. Now, this includes Pierre, Huron, Watertown, Aberdeen, Brookings, Sioux Falls, right on the edge of this. So Sioux Falls is not included in this. Sioux Falls is just outside of this. But Winter, Pierre, Aberdeen, Brookings, Watertown, all these areas here, parts of western, central, and eastern and northeastern South Dakota, all in this severe thunderstorm watch now. Let me see when this goes until. This is in effect until midnight. So we have until midnight now. Severe thunderstorm watch until midnight for these areas. Again, central, eastern, and northeastern South Dakota, and western Minnesota, shaded in blue there. That is where we have the severe thunderstorm watch. Now let me see here what it shows. We do have cells that are popping up in that area. Let me see here what the latest is on this. So that was fairly quickly on that. Let me look at the MD or the watch information. I do want to see what they are saying here. Now keep in mind this severe thunderstorm watch that this storm is under that has the tornado warning. There was not even a risk for tornadoes in this area. Just kind of goes to show us our concern. Again, that tornado risk is much farther to the east here. So that is definitely concerning because this is not even the main event. That is the issue. Now let me look at the watch area. They do not have it up yet. Once we get that, okay, there we go. Now we got it. So what it's saying here, scattered large hail and isolated very large hail events up to 2.5 inches in diameter. Likely scattered damaging winds to 70 miles per hour, which what we, again, we did a post earlier today kind of explaining this with all this information. And then your tornado risk. There is a small tornado risk as well that we will be keeping a close eye on here. So what it says, several areas of thunderstorms will develop and spread across the watch area this afternoon and evening. Large hail, damaging winds, main threats, although there is an isolated tornado risk. So that is what they are saying on that. So again, the tornado risk is there, as you can see. We do have that confirmed tornado that is still ongoing here in western South Dakota. Again, just southwest of Faith. If you have any folks just southwest of Faith, that is, you're under the gun for this tornado. And as far as we know, this thing is still on the ground. This still has the confirmed tornado box on it. The purple box, that is your confirmed tornado. And this is about to cross this 73 road that goes south of Faith. So if you have any folks along that road, be sure to let them know that there is a confirmed dangerous situation that is headed towards your area. And we'll see if this gets extended or not. And also do want to mention that there is some moisture feeding into this storm. Basically right here, we have kind of, that's your inflow, and it feeds right into this storm. And that is what we're looking at there. That goes to show you that there's plenty of moisture to support this storm. This thing is all by itself. And as it moves east, unfortunately, this is getting into a better environment as well. As this thing keeps moving east, this will be heading into a more favorable area for storms. Do you guys have any updates at this point? Or are you still working on the getting it out?
Process of learning still, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I got it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
No updates yet.
All right. Maybe if you want to go, if one of you guys wants to go on X and see if you guys can see any maybe videos or pictures maybe that people have been posting of maybe a confirmed tornado, and then we'll pop it up on here if we see it. And again, we're going to stick with you guys here again, we have this confirmed tornado that is, again, as far as everybody knows, still on the ground at this point. And again, it is right here. There's Faith, South Dakota, right up here. Faith, you are experiencing very heavy rainfall at this time, maybe even some small hail. But just southwest of you is where we have the tornado that is ongoing. And again, nothing is stopping this thing, unfortunately. I mean, this thing is really wound up and it is a very big supercell. And it is all by itself. And this thing is a dangerous situation. Let's see here.
I have a tornado picture of west of Faith.
Okay.
September.
Okay, perfect. So we do have a picture now of this tornado that we're following. Now, I just seen the update here. So this is good news, but it's still a situation we need to keep an eye on. So this tornado is no longer confirmed as of now. It has just been updated within the last few seconds. They have downgraded the warning to radar indicated. So the tornado warning is still going to continue here for another 20 minutes, but it is no longer a confirmed tornado at this point, which is that's good news, and hopefully that continues. And the area that we are watching is right here, where you got that reds and greens meeting together like that in that clash zone. That is what we're looking for. Now let me see. Yeah, it's not as pronounced as it was earlier. It's just not. It is definitely not what it was earlier. However, this thing, you look at the reflectivity there, and that thing still is pretty nasty, gnarly looking. Now, let's do a loop on this. Kind of show you guys the latest on this, and there's your loop. It's kind of bowing out, so hopefully we're nearing the end of this tornado risk for this storm. However, these things have a tendency to recycle, so that is possible that this thing could recycle up again, but let's see here.
Still one internet picture, but should work.
Yeah, alright, sounds good. Let's see, so this is Perkins County, you are in the clear. Perkins County, South Dakota, you are in the clear. This is for just strictly Meade County, South Dakota at this point. You are in this tornado warning that continues. This is the northeastern corner of Meade County, again, just south and west of Faith. And this is moving southeast. This is just about to cross that road 73 just south of Faith. So if you, I could actually map this too. Let me see how far. Let me see how far this is away from the Faith area. Now, we don't have any chasers out on this storm, unfortunately, so we can't give you a really good picture of this, but we'll do our best here. Let me see how far. It's probably about 7 miles, or give or take, south of Faith right now. That is kind of the area we're looking at. Still has that inflow notch, still has that hook feature on the radar, that classic hook that you see on the radar. But it is not as pronounced as it was earlier. Let's see here. Let me do a storm track on this for you guys. Even though there isn't, the good news is there really isn't any communities being impacted by this. This is pretty rural. But let me do a storm track on this anyway here. see here. See if I can get it on here. I'm trying. But in any case, this is in a pretty rural area, so again, not looking at anything too severe. Let's see here. Right. All right, so going back here, here's your radar picture again. We do have there, right there, is your inflow notch right in there. Anytime you have that kind of structure to it, that is where your tornado risk is. Where you got the inflow coming into this thing, and then the cool, rainy air on the back side of it. That is the area. That is what we're looking at. We're going to continue to monitor this. Velocity doesn't look as good as it was before, and that is good news. However, there is still some broad rotation, but it is not at all what it was. Again, we do have other storms going on as well. Again, just south of the Lemon area. This is a pretty nasty supercell as well. And radar indicated here with this severe threat, 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, moving east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. That one also expires at 5. Rapid City area, you were in the clear. You are not under any watches or warnings. Rapid City is in the clear at this point, as well as Spearfish, Black Hills area, you are in the clear. Well, we got and Faith, you are also in the clear in terms of the severe portion of this storm. Faith still with those thunderstorms, so just stay inside for now until this storm clears the area, probably within the hour. But it was good news there that this storm is going to miss Faith to the south. Let me see here. Do we have that picture of that?
Yeah, it should be on your screen deck.
Okay,
And that picture.
sounds good.
Yep, whenever you're ready for it. Let me know if it works. I want to know too.
Okay. Yeah. A lot has gone on here in the last hour. It has developed quickly. That should be. All right. Now let's see here. Perfect. I did get it. Yes. Now I just gotta
Sweet.
zoom in and. All right, so there you guys are. There is that tornado that was just west of Faith a little bit earlier, and there it is. That is your tornado. Now that was why they issued that as a confirmed tornado. There was an image of it, so there you go. Let me see if I can even zoom in a little bit for you. Get a little bit better picture of this. And there it is. So, yep, there is your tornado. That was out in western South Dakota today, just west of Faith. And currently, this thing is still has a tornado warning on it, but it is not as strong as it was before. So we're gonna ride this out with you guys. If this expires, we're gonna jump off the air and kind of regather ourselves and try to resituate for the activity later on, which was the original plan. But this Mother Nature had other ideas within the last hour. So, but what we're gonna do here, we're gonna stick with you guys here until this tornado warning goes away. Now, we do still have a little bit of a hook feature there and it is just crossing that 73 road south of Faith, and it'll be making its way to the east of that area here within the next few minutes. Let's go back to the radar picture, but yeah, we did want to show you guys that. Thanks for getting that on for us. Let's go ahead and go back to the radar picture, and there it is. The tornado warning continues here for another 10 minutes. My assumption is they're going to allow this to expire at 5 o'clock, but they could expire it a little early. But again, we're just going to continue watching this. Also there, when you get that purple and black right here, that is your hail core, and that is just south of Faith. Anytime you get that kind of signature on the radar, that is where we have some pretty nasty hail, especially the black shaded area. So probably some big hail associated with this storm, as well as very heavy rainfall. Now, the tornado zone, it's going to be again on the south end of this storm, kind of right in there. That is your area of tornado. So that is your area. Now, let's go ahead. Let me do a loop on this again. Show you guys where we were earlier. Again, when it was about right, let's see, when it was about right there, we did have that picture that came in of that tornado that did go through west of Faith. And again, pop it up. There it is. That was the confirmed tornado. Obviously, it's not a big tornado. It's not that typical wedge tornado that you see out west, or it wasn't a wedge. It was a small tornado, which is good news. But that still could cause quite a bit of damage and problems. So anytime there's a confirmed tornado, you got to take it very seriously. And that was earlier. And then as it moves southeast, it has kind of died off. It is not as strong as it was before. We're just going to keep watching it here in the studio. We're staffed here the rest of this afternoon and evening. We will be providing you guys with the latest information as we get it. Now, okay, so we do have a new warning. This is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's get to this here. It does say tornado is still possible on this. Moving southeast at about 35 miles per hour. 2.5 inches of hail, and that makes sense from what we were seeing on the radar picture. That does make sense. Hail in 2.5 inch diameter, as well as 60 mile an hour winds. And tornado is still possible on this storm. And areas here, let me see if there's any sort of communities impacted by this. Let me see here. Kind of near the intersection Cherry Creek and Sunnybrook Roads. Cherry Creek around 525 on this. This is moving southeast at about 35 miles per hour. Tennis ball sized hail on this storm, with that, again, very strong storm, very strong supercell there with that tennis ball sized hail. You can see that the black shaded area on the radar is really, really nasty hail signature. And again, what it says here, people and animals outdoors will be injured if they're outside for this. Expect hail damage to roof, siding, windows, vehicles. Expect wind damage to roof, siding, trees. Storm will be near red scaffold at about 5, so about 5 minutes. If you're near the red scaffold area, please be in your safe spot. intersection of Cherry Creek and Sunnybrook Roads in about 10 minutes. And then Cherry Creek area at around 5:25. Again, that's Central Time, so about a half hour. Cherry Creek's kind of in this area. So, again, just keep watching this. Keep a very close eye on this. If you have any folks south of Faith, southeast of Faith, just let them know that there is a very, very intense storm that is headed towards their area. This is south of Dupree, south of Eagle Butte, and south of Faith. Again, radar indicated tornado. Now, everybody's wondering about the Sioux Falls area. Sioux Falls area for now is in the clear. However, there is an anticipation of thunderstorms later this evening, probably around between 7 and 10 p.m. is your area for the Sioux Falls region for thunderstorm activity. It won't be as severe as the development farther out west, but the Sioux Falls area could still see some thunderstorms later on. Now, the storm still has a little bit of a hook feature on it. It might be starting to recycle a little bit, but we're just going to continue to monitor the situation. It does still have a little bit of a hook feature on the radar. It's not as pronounced, not as intense as it was before. However, that hail signature keeps growing in size. This thing is massive. That is a nasty hail signature there. Now, people are wondering about northeastern South Dakota. Yes, northeastern South Dakota under the gun here within the next few hours for severe thunderstorm activity. And again, we'll go over it again. Hail in 2 to 3 inches in diameter, 70-mile-an-hour winds, and a tornado or two possible. That is for northeastern South Dakota, as well as portions of eastern South Dakota. We do have some cells. We do have some activity already ongoing that have started up now. And let me get to that here. There's also thunderstorms down in the panhandle of Nebraska. One of them did have a tornado warning on it earlier. Let me see here. So we do have a storm just north of Valentine, Nebraska. We're going to be watching that very closely, as well as near the Chamberlain area and also up near the Huron areas. These areas we will be keeping a close eye on, as we do have new cells that are popping up. So we will just continue to monitor that. Now again, here just south of Faith, this is our storm that we have been keeping an eye on here for the last 45 minutes or so. Just keeping close tabs on this, seeing what's going on. So the situation as of now, again, is the hail threat. Also, 60-mile-an-hour winds possible with this storm as well. But we have tennis ball-sized hail. That's some big hail. That is just under baseball-sized hail. So that's some pretty intense hail, and that is just south of Faith, and it's moving southeast. Now, the nearest town impacted by this, let me look here. Let me see here. Let me pull up GR here. Yeah. Really, it's just Cherry Creek. Cherry Creek at this time is really the only community that will be impacted by this. It's in a pretty rural spot. Not a lot of population out here at all, and that's good news. And again, looking at the reflectivity here, still showing a little bit of an inflow notch, but as of now, we are at 5 o'clock. If you're just joining us, this is continuing coverage of some severe weather across the region, across western South Dakota, as well as the western panhandle of Nebraska as well. We do have severe weather also up in North Dakota as well. So the tornado warning box has been allowed to expire, so that is good news. So Faith, you were in the clear. Remain in, stay indoors for the time being until this thunderstorm passes. But Faith is in the clear of the worst of this. Now, Cherry Creek, you are under the gun here within the half hour here of this storm. So if you're near Cherry Creek, please be taking cover and be getting ready as this storm is heading directly towards you. So that's the latest here from the T-Storm Chasers. Again, we will be back on the air probably within the next hour or two as these storms really start to fire up and we start to peak out on this event. Again, we have chasers out in the field. We have AJ and his team with Braden, and we do have our team out in the field to be storm chasing out there. They are going to be stationed near the Mitchell area, waiting for storms near Mitchell. These storms will move east and eventually hitting Sioux Falls later this evening, near 8 p.m., 10 p.m. That's kind of the time frame for the Sioux Falls area, based on the model runs that we've been seeing. And also, we do have the severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until midnight across a good portion of the area, a good portion of South Dakota. Winter, Pierre, Aberdeen, Watertown, Huron, Mitchell, Brookings areas, all in the severe thunderstorm watch. So that is the latest here from the T-Storm Chasers again. We'll be back on as needed, and we will continue to provide you guys with the latest information. So stay safe out there, and we hopefully won't see you soon. But if we do, we will be back on to provide you guys the latest. So thank you guys for tuning in. Much appreciation for all that have tuned in this afternoon.